Hi, we are WJSK and we come from the tutorial Good Tree. Today, we would like to show our video that with the topic initiative to keep the ocean garbage free. Let us begin. One of the most important international marine environmental convention is MARPOL 73/78. The MARPOL 73/78 is short for the International Convention for the Prevention of the Pollution from Sea, and the current convention, which is combined with the first draft, is 1973 convention and amended in 1978. MARPOL 73/78 was developed by the International Marine Organization, or we call that IMO. IMO as a United Nations specialist agency that obligate for regulating the shipping and the formed on 17 March 1948. The MARPOL 73/78 is effective on the 2nd October 1983. According to the research, there are 158 states are parties into the convention in year 2018. Those countries such as China, Australia, South Africa, India, Singapore, Malaysia, and so on. MARPOL is divided into the different annexes, and the Annex 5 is more relevant to our assignment topic. MARPOL Annex 5 as regulation for prevention of pollution by garbage from ship and the policy formed on 31st December 1988. The purpose of the Annex 5 is to minimize and eliminate the amount of the garbage being dumped into the ocean from ship. The application of the MARPOL Annex 5 is applied for all the ship which is operating in the marine environment. In the Annex 5, the garbage is categorized with different types such as plastic, food waste, cooking oil, operation waste, fishing gear, and more. Besides that, the ship within the spatial area and a ship outside the spatial area are totally different regulations. For example, of the spatial area are
Mediterranean Sea, Baltic Sea area, Black Sea area, Red Sea area, Antarctic area, North Sea, Gulf area, and wider Caribbean region.
Based on this table, it shows that the approach of discharge the garbage in the ocean. The Annex 5 is worded like this. For example, the crew need to discharge the food waste, which has commuter by commuter. When the ship is voyaging in the spatial area, the crew need to check the distance between the ship and the nearest land, whether the ship is more than or equal 12 nautical miles far from the nearest land. Then the discharge is permitted. All of the food waste had been commuter may discharge to ocean because it may easily to dissolve in the shortened time, and it also does not contain any trace of the pollution to ocean. However, if the food is not commuted, it is totally prohibited of discharge in the ocean within the spatial area. There are another regulation which is discharge the different type of the garbage at the different area need to follow by the crew, and it can be found in this table. Most of the garbage is prohibited discharge in the ocean because it needs spend a lot of time to fully dissolve. Those garbage such as plastic, cooking oil, operating waste, glass, metal, lining, which are totally prohibited to discharge in the ocean, either ship is within the spatial area or the outside spatial area. Besides that, the garbage record book as one of the content in the MARPOL Annex 5 that consists of all of the record of the garbage disposing and discharging of the garbage. The garbage record book provides the tracking that are able to track what happened to the garbage. However, for those who violate the regulation will be fined and the penalty. For example of the Singapore, the penalty out to 20,000 Singapore dollar and or maximum 2-year prison period if being found that the master of the Singapore ship violate or break the regulation of those policy that pollute the sea by the certain garbage. There are some certain criticism in my viewpoint. In my opinion, the MARPOL 73/78 Annex 5 has mentioned that the state the sufficient and adequate of the policy and the regulation. It also clearly mentioned the regulation of discharge the garbage in the sea. Besides that, the policy also mentioned that there are certain garbage are totally prohibited discharge in the sea, and this can reduce and eliminate the risk of pollute the sea. However, the approach of record the garbage that have been discharged in the sea or reception facility is using the old-fashioned approach. It may occur certain human areas such as forget to record or incorrect record the amount of the garbage, unclear the typeface, and so on. In the other hand, the penalty and the punishment of the violation is too gentle and light. It will lead the shipmaster will ignore the policy and pollute the sea again and again. That's all from my part. Thank you.
Now I'm going to talk about another policy that has been used to keep the ocean garbage free, which is the London Dumping Convention. The occurrence of garbage like plastic bag, plastic bottle, drinking straw, and so on in the ocean is mainly due to the reason of littering and dumping. London Dumping Convention has been used globally to keep the ocean clean with a goal of keeping the ocean out of garbage. It approaches to the goals by controlling the source of pollution, and it takes all practical actions to avoid the ocean from being polluted by illegal dumping or littering. London Dumping Conventions, all the dumping activities are prohibited. However, there are exemptions which some kinds of waste or garbage are allowed to be dumped to the sea. The garbage or waste that are allowed to be dumped are listed in the so-called reverse list, which include the dredged material, fish processing waste, bulky items like iron, steel, concrete, and so on. However, the dumping of garbage listed in the reverse list are not always be legal. It only will be legal when permit is obtained. Under London Dumping Conventions, the incineration of waste on board or in the sea area will also be prohibited. This is because after the incineration of waste, the ashes or cinder will be generated, and these residues will be very light in weight. It will be blown up in the air and then drop into the ocean. When it drops into the ocean, it will contaminate the ocean. Another prohibition, which is the exporting of waste to the other countries. Many countries are exporting their waste to the other countries because it is low in cost and the other countries will help them to settle their waste. Normally, Western countries are the countries that export the waste, and Southeast Asia countries are who importing the waste. According to the statistics, United States is the largest country of exporting the waste, and according to the United Nations figures, there are at least 100 million tons of plastic waste has been leaked into the ocean because of the exportation of plastic waste from United States. This is why exportation of waste is prohibited. Any violation of this policy will lead to fines or penalties. There is no any policy able to perfectly governing the country as well as London Dumping Convention. So here are some criticism about the London Dumping Conventions. Firstly, London Dumping Conventions never state that all the vessels must install equipment or management systems to monitor the dumping activities of the ship. For example, CCTV, dumping records, and others. Without these equipment or management systems, it will be very difficult for them to manage or monitor the dumping activities of the vessel, because the vessel will navigate or sail into the ocean, which is very far away from the shore. Then, due to the reason that population is keeping on increasing, the plastic waste generated will also be increased. The prohibition of waste exportation will lead to the waste being accumulated in the country, and this will be a very serious problem, especially for the developing and developed countries. This is because the waste being accumulated in the country will occupy a lot of landfill, and this will heavily affecting the development of the country. That's all from my part. Thank you.